She's breaking her own records because this season, Caitlin Clark have already shattered most of the records. In what may have been the strangest WNBA game I've seen all season, she not only broke the all-time rookie scoring record in this game, beating Cheryl Swoops, by the way, but she also had the finest game of her professional career. You really lost out on this game if you didn't see it. Now let's discuss the game. In the opening play, Smith passes it to Mitchell, who positions the pick and finishes well inside with the taller McGowan. Are you aware of the claim that Arike Ogunbowale represents the WNBA's Kyrie Irving? That's the reason. When Arike brings the ball up to the floor, Kelsey Mitchell gets hit by a lightning-fast crossover, falling flat on her face as she hits the deck. Arike then completes the highlight play by making a pull-up three-pointer. Now tell me, did Kelsey Mitchell trip over something, or was this an ankle breaker? In the comments section below. In any case, the play appeared absurd. The scoring backcourts of these two teams may be the greatest in the WNBA. Though Arike and Sabale are also deadly, we already know what Kelsey and Clark are all about. Here, from the jump ball, Satou Sabale, who is in the top 5 in terms of three-point percentage, gets the perfect look and makes her first three. Check Caitlin Clark, who is inbounding right now for a tough down low off-ball screen on one of the bigs. This allows Nelisa Smith to get the ball in a deep position, where she fakes a shot and scores from the low block. Indiana is playing a two-man game with Clark and Boston, the favorite, and they are not kidding around. Boston's trademark pick and pop mid-range jumper, which she knocks down for 2 more, is found by Clark at the elbow. Here, Caitlin is attempting to make her first 3, steps back, misses, and is unable to get a rebound as Arike beats her to the loose ball. Now, Boston is the final player back. Arike hezzes, waits for Boston to make a defensive move, reacts, and then pulls up with a fader, giving the Wings a double-digit lead. Once more, Arike Ogunbowale displays her heat check, surveys the floor, and chooses to just draw up off the dribble for no charge, leaving the bank open. Arike Ogunbowale scores 8 points to begin the game and is a flamethrower. By now, you should be aware that Indiana looks on Kelsey Mitchell when they need buckets. On the baseline drive, Lexi has the option to go for a layup, but she kicks it out, Mitchell shoots, misses the first, and gets long rebounds. You can be certain that she won't miss twice when she tries again. This hasn't happened until less than 4 minutes into the first quarter. You now know what's going to happen. Clark, the ball handler in the pick and roll, gets set up by Boston to put a harsh screen on Sheldon. Number 22 launches from downtown to the left, finds the net, and Cece scores the game's first field goal. However, the Wings believe they can defeat anyone in a shootout. During the drive, Arike sends the ball to Satou Sabale at the top of the key, who immediately returns the 3 points for Dallas. Fantastic defensive play from the Wings here. They're not giving up anything lightly. With 2 defenders in her face and the shot clock nearing its limit, Boston's kick out to Lexi gets tipped, and then watch this incredible circus shot from Lexi Hall that goes off the backboard and in. The way Indiana is playing right now, they seem like Globetrotters. Mitchell doubled on the drive and nearly threw it out of bounds, but Fag Bentley saved it and said, you know what? She just made her 3rd three-pointer of the game, and I like this one. What is happening? This is unreal. After spinning and being too close to the finish, Lexi Hull perseveres into play, catches the loose ball, finds Boston, makes an additional pass to Wheeler at the top of the key, and in the most improbable of circumstances, splashes the 3 to trim the advantage to 6. Dallas is again taking advantage of their size inside. For the last play of the quarter, McCowan finishes brilliantly over 2 defenders by simply lobbing it into her down low. After that, the first period comes to a close with Indiana down by 8 points despite shooting 50%. Dallas was scoring points early on, shooting an incredible 67% from the field, and Indiana would need to improve their defense if they were to have any hope of winning. Look at the movement off the ball to figure out who it is, number 22, who scores the first basket of the second quarter. In an attempt to earn a little extra time to shoot her second 3 of the game, Clark battles past one screen, then another, rounds the pin down from Dantas once again, and retreats to the 3-point line. Despite Arike's 3 misses, Indiana is unable to muster a rebound. However, Natasha Howard's offensive rebounding basket turns the miss into 2 points. Clark fouled on the 3rd logo. She went to the line and was automatically there. She added another 3 for the Fever on the board. This time, Caitlin Clark activated the style during the transition. Avoids the opposition, slings Fag Bentley a pass behind his back, and keeps going. When she notices Arike dozing off, she rushes outside to the perimeter and gives Ogunbowale a hard 3, which is entirely net for sagging off her. Caitlin Clark scored 14 points in the first half. She is really hot. Here we have Satou Sabale, who made a gorgeous pass over the defense to reward Howard for scuttling the floor on the fast break. It's long overdue for Kelsey Mitchell to score as well. After Nelisa lowers the pin, Mitchell rises. Buries the triple over Arike after receiving the dribble handoff from Boston. With Aaliyah Boston on the boards and Katie Lou bricking the third corner, the latter provides her the advantage in size by putting the bow down low and letting go of the hook shot at close range. This is Horn's play from the wing. Sheldon moves the ball, and McGowan lobs a pass into Howard from below. It's too simple, and Howard scores 14 points. Since the break, Kelsey Mitchell has emerged as the top scoring guard in the WNBA. Observe her as she makes a move behind her back. Leaving her protector for dead, she creates the necessary distance to complete the lengthy two. She's really heating up now. Ariki comes out to contest, but Mitchell knocks her off her feet, moves, and hits the trifecta to give Indiana the lead. Clark, looking for an opening, is doubled at the elbow, which is a mistake. Not even halftime has passed, despite the Fever backcourt scoring 25 points. But the Boston backs down Brown, positions itself well down low, and smokes the hook shot. But Nalisa Smith catches it and returns it, putting the Fever up 6 points ahead. In the first half, Natasha Howard has proven to be a formidable opponent for the Fever. Watch her misdirect Smith with her in-and-out dribble, and then capitalize with a pull-up jumper in the lane. The shot that Aaliyah Boston has in her toolbox is also there. After CC&A pick and roll on the wing, Boston pops out and Clark bounces it through the pocket to her. Boston then hits her trademark set shot in the mid-range. The Fever don't waste any time as Clark pushes up the pace and Mitchell from the wing cuts the back door. Clark then scoops her out with a bounce pass and Kelsey scores the reverse layup. Sabale becomes rough on the drive, sending Katie Lou crashing to the floor and banking it in off the glass. After that, Sabale punishes Katie Lou once more. She has too much space to make a shot and ends up hitting her third free ball of the match. Once more, Sabale sneaks a bounce pass into Howard, tying the score at 55%. Kalani Brown then makes it 7 points in a row for Dallas, regaining the lead for the Wings with a long two. In the closing seconds of the second quarter, Dallas leads 5-7, 5-5 in one of the most thrilling halves of basketball this year, thanks to a combination of offense and defense. Kelsey Mitchell of Boston's pin down gets into the lane, shifts, stutters, and steps back to the foul line to score. Sabale then closes out the half strongly, putting the Wings up 2 at the foul. Clark and Mitchell each had 15 points. Howard and Sabale outscored them with a combined 35 points. What a fantastic game thus far. The second half only gets better. On the opening play of the third quarter, the Fever goes for it. Boston fakes a handoff to Caitlin. Mitchell cuts through the defense, and Boston's bounce throw is spot on, leading to Mitchell's score. This season, how many times have we seen that? Arki Ogunbowale simply makes an absurd shot over Smith, and then it's those two once more. She smashes a hard one-legged runner from the elbow. After giving Mitchell a Boston handoff, Kelsey fires and makes a deep two to increase her score to 19 points. She can't block both the Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston pick and roll at this moment, so you have to choose your poison. After Clark shakes off Sheldon from the right wing, McGowan drops coverage, causing her to pull up and sink a long two off the dribble. Now that Indiana has everything figured out, Mitchell mismatches Sabale and steps back to drain another triple off the bounce. Nevertheless, Dallas continues to dominate inside. Ariki misses a corner three, but McGowan scores this time from the offensive glass. Fortunately for the Fever, Aaliyah Boston is also strong on the inside. She backs down from the block, rotates, and scores from close range over her left shoulder. Observe Satou Sabale as she hands off to Howard off the screen, leans in, and attempts a challenging shot despite having two defenders in her face. However, notice how aggressively direct Caitlin Clark is. She pushes the pace, and because Aaliyah Boston has McGowan completely covered down low, Caitlin Clark can lob the pass over the defense. Ariki has been very quiet since her blazing start, but she makes some noise here, and everything is picture perfect. Howard rounded the screen, and with only one dribble, she tied the score with her first 3 points of the second half. Ariki Ogunwale just became the quickest player in WNBA history to reach 4,000 career points with that make. Dallas then takes the lead once more as nobody stops Satou Sabale, who makes her fourth three-pointer of the game from downtown. Indiana's offensive attack consists of Mitchell from the corner, who fakes and lobs the ball into Boston. Mitchell looks for her shot but misses it, so she kicks it out to Kelsey, who immediately returns the 3 points for Indiana. However, Ozan is wide open from the corner and responds with another Dallas three after Ariki's pass as both teams are shooting lights out. At this point, neither team can miss from the incoming. As Indiana picks up steam, Clark throws the ball to Mitchell in the corner, whereupon no one can stop her, and Kelsey sprints to the hoop to score because she is simply too quick. In the last minute of the third quarter, a dirty play is executed. As Clark prepares to finish on the drive right, Brown appears out of nowhere, tries to swat the ball, and manages to catch a piece of it before slamming Caitlin Clark across the dome. Think about it after reviewing the play. The referees call a flagrant foul. Was that a nasty foul on purpose or just an unintentional basketball play? Tell me in the comments section below. Clark gets to the free throw line, makes both of her attempts, and Ariki Ogunwale's three-pointer to close out the quarter puts the score at 1 point heading into the fourth. Both teams are playing crazily in this back-and-forth game with the Fever leading 8-4, 8-3. It's going to come down to the last possession, so get your popcorn ready. You really don't want to miss this, so stay until the very end. As the fourth quarter begins, things are becoming more serious. Trapped on the roll, Clark. However, Dallas continues to score easily. Sabali has the option to fade out of the post in this situation and instead passes the ball to McGowan near the rim, who makes it a 2-point contest. It's getting pretty close now with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth. You already know what's going to happen. Clark off the ball, waits for Dantas to downscreen, turns, grabs the ball, travels left, pauses, sidesteps, and furry ball just in time for Caitlin Clark to score a huge deep shot that extends the Fever lead to 5. She now has 28 points. Recall that Caitlin Clark can tie her career high of 31 here, as Clark, the ball handler, runs off an Iverson cut. She gets on the ball, waits for Dantas to provide the ball screen, jacks up another triple going left, and then drills it once more. In the fourth quarter, Caitlin Clark takes control. She makes back-to-back three-pointers to reach her career best of 31 points, and the Fever is starting to pull away, leading by 8 points. When Clark runs off with it, it is discovered, and she is given the opportunity to make history on her own. She naturally makes both of the 3 free throws, bringing her total to 33 points, which is the highest points she has ever scored in a wnba game. I would like to declare that's game over when the Fever leads by 9, but we're far from done. With less than 4 minutes remaining, Ariki Ogunwale is leading the charge. She pulls up a jumper in the paint and pops on the drive. And there she is once more. Sheldon discovers her over the defense. Ariki gets Dantas to bite on the fake, and she banks it in. Howard off ball screens. Ariki face cuts to the goal. Ariki's 2 fast field goals have made it a 5-point game. Now, as the game is down to 2 minutes, Boston and Clark are playing a 2-man showdown. Boston comes up to the perimeter, and after Clark pocket passes to her and Howard steps out of the way, Boston walks through. It looks like an easy layup, but Boston fires it from close range, giving Dallas a huge momentum boost. The post is now fed by J.C. Sheldon. Dantas is in the give and go towards the baseline, but Sheldon is able to flip it up and in over the defensive weakness, turning the game into a one-possession contest. Dallas is now shutting down defensively. Howard scores on the quick breaks to make it a 1-point game, and Indiana has blown it after Clark is blitzed on the pick and roll and Sheldon picks her pocket. This game was finished, but the Wings are back in it and have all the momentum after making things really difficult for themselves in the closing stages. Now that Indiana Fever is in full swing. Clark from the inbound searches for Mitchell. Never needed more. Kelsey Mitchell's catch and shoot free throw is spot on. It's an incredible shot from KM, just what the Fever needed, and she's already up to 30 points in the game. However, Dallas doesn't give up and keeps up the pressure. Saboli drives, spins, fakes again, steps through, and finishes nicely to lift Lexi off her feet. That is 5 in a row. Discovers Fag Benley in the middle of the field. Her jumper is short, but she pursues the ball, picks it up, and reverses it in. Max Yuan seals Boston down low in deep position as Dallas plays inside-out basketball. Howard finds her over the defense, and she converts for 2. Caitlin Clark displays her aggressiveness once more, dribbling from the right side, resetting, getting the switch, and shaking Howard with an in-and-out dribble for the blow before finishing at the rim. She goes coast to coast, goes right, gets physical, hangs, and scores off the glass. At this point, she has scored 24 points.